Hi, Assalamu alaikum. I was listening to Omar Suleiman's Ramadan series, and it's on Barzakh, which is a concept I wasn't very familiar with. And it reminded me of the work of a physicist named David Bohm. And I want to explain why I think there's a lot of commonality. In the physical sense, death is pretty straightforward. The heart stops, electrical activity in the brain ceases, and energy dissipates. But what happens to consciousness? Where does the essence of a person go? The Quran gives a very clear answer, which is Barzakh. It's an intermediate realm where the soul exists after death, aware but separated from the world it once knew. When death comes to one of them, he cries, "My Lord, send me back so that I may do good in what I left behind." But no, it is only a word he speaks, and behind them is a barrier, Barzakh, until the day they are resurrected. The explicit order that Bohm talks about is the ordinary manifest reality that we perceive with our senses, this dunya. It's a world of separation, of space and time, where objects appear very distinct from each other. But the implicate order is a deeper hidden reality, and it underlies, it undergirds the explicit order. In the implicate order, everything is fundamentally interconnected. And in Barzakh, the soul has no control any longer. It cannot return. It cannot change its fate. The Quran makes this clear in Surah 2. To Allah we belong, and to Him we return. This moment, the crossing from this life into Barzakh, is irreversible. Bohm himself suggested that reality unfolds in stages, that what is unseen eventually emerges into its complete form. And Islam describes the day of resurrection the same way. Then the trumpet will be blown, and behold, they will rush from their graves to their Lord. Surah 36, Ayah 51. This is the ultimate collapse of potentiality. There is no more potential. There's no more going back and reviewing the choices you made and choosing differently. In quantum mechanics, a system exists in multiple states until it's observed. And upon that observation, it collapses into one outcome. So if life is the period where all choices exist, we can choose to follow Allah. We can choose to turn away. Barzakh is the moment of pause. And resurrection is the final collapse of all possibilities into one reality, either paradise or hell. That final state is called in the Quran Dar al-Qarar, the abode of permanence. The Quran describes it as the place where the soul finally reaches its true reality. The parallels here are very interesting, and although they're not perfect, I do think there's some very interesting overlay between the two of them. Have a beautiful day.
Hi, I'm reading Surah 4, An-Nisa, and I came across a ayah, verse that struck me as pretty hardcore. And I want to read it to you, and then I want to tell you my reaction. Surah 4, verse 56. Those who are ungrateful for our signs, we will scorch them in a fire. As often as their skins are wholly burned, we will substitute with other skins so that they will experience the punishment. Truly, God has been almighty, wise. All right, so if you would have asked me 6 months ago to read this verse and comment on it, I would have said something really different. I would have said, that seems pretty harsh. And I don't know about a God who can do that to humans. But then I saw what's happening to the Palestinians and the horror being inflicted upon them by Israel and by my own government, who are paying for the bombs, supplying the bombs in the billions of dollars. And I realized that this punishment is okay by me. 6 months ago, I would have told you, even though I'm 53 years old, I would have said, I truly believe that every person is a good person, deep down. And all people deserve forgiveness for past actions. But at this point, no. No, I understand this verse now. And I'm sorry for what my government is doing to the people of Palestine and how we're complicit. I'm really sorry.